Hey guys, Miss Messer here. I have some notes for you on how to use the quadratic formula to solve quadratic equations. So grab some paper and a pencil and we'll get started. Okay, so the quadratic formula is this, and you're going to want to write this down. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, and I'm going to show you some steps that we can use to take a quadratic equation and plug it into this formula and figure out what our two solutions are. Okay, so step number one is that you're going to write your equation in standard form. So I'll remind you how to do that in just a minute. I would write these steps down. Number two, you're going to identify A, B, and C. Number three, you're going to plug A, B, and C into the quadratic formula. And number four, you're going to simplify using order of operations. Okay, let's get started on an example, and these steps will make a little more sense to you. Okay, so here's our first example. Example number one. We're going to have x squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. Okay, so I'm going to put a 1 right here. Remember that when we're doing quadratic equations, it's ax squared plus bx plus c. So this is a, b, and c right here. So I'm going to list those out to the side. A is 1, b is negative 5, and c is negative 14. Okay, so now I plug that into my equation. So remember my equation, I'm going to rewrite it for you. The square root, oh, nope, that's not right. It's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I know a, b, and c. I just have to plug them in. Okay, so x equals negative b. Well, b is negative 5, so I have negative b, which is negative 5. So there's two negatives there. Eventually, two negatives make a positive. I'll change that in the next step. Plus or minus the square root of b squared. Anytime I square something, I want to put it in parentheses. Negative 5 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 14. So all I did was rewrite this, but with all my numbers instead of my letters a, b, and c. All over 2a, and a is 1. Okay, now all I have to do is simplify this using order of operations. So two negatives makes a positive, so I'm going to start with that. So negative 5 is just 5, plus or minus the square root. Negative 5 squared is negative 5 times negative 5, which is 25. Two negatives make a positive. And then negative 4 times negative 14 times 1 is positive 56. Sorry. Okay. All over 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it again. Negative 5 plus or minus the square root. 25 plus 56 is 81 all over 2. Now, 81, I know what that is, so I'm going to rewrite that again. Negative 5 plus or minus, the square root of 81 is 9. It's one of my perfect squares, all over 2. Okay, well, so what this means is that my solution is negative 5 plus 9 over 2 and negative 5 minus 9 over 2. So I need to figure out what those are. Negative 5 plus 9 is negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Negative 5 minus 9 is negative 14. Negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7. So those are my two solutions. Okay, so I just figure out A, B, and C, plug it into my formula, and simplify. Okay, let's look at one that doesn't work out quite as nice, and then we'll be done. Here's your second example. I will tell you that both of these examples are on the worksheet tomorrow. So you'll already have 2 of the 10 done tomorrow when you get to your worksheet. Okay, so we're going to start with 9x squared equals 4 plus 7x. Now, my equation is not in standard form, so I need to rewrite this. I'm going to move these both to the other side. So minus 7x and minus 4. So I'm going to end up, this cancels. This cancels. So I'm left with 9x squared minus 7x minus 4 equals 0. Now I know A is 9. B is negative 7. And C is negative 4. Okay. Then I'm going to plug those in. So I have negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I'm going to plug that in. Negative b. B is negative 7, so negative 7. Okay, because there's a negative in the formula right here. And there's a negative in the b, so I have 2 negatives. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, so negative 7 squared, make sure you put that in parentheses, minus 4 times a, which is 9, times c, which is negative 4. All over 2a. Whoops, sorry, a is 9. So 2 times 9. Okay. So 2 negatives make a positive. So x equals 7 plus or minus. Let's kind of figure this out all together. This square root right now. So negative 7 squared is 49. So I'm going to put out to the side that I have the square root of 49 plus, and then negative 4 times 9 is 144. So I have 49 plus 144, which is 193. So I'm going to do the square root of 193. All over 2 times 9, which is 18. Okay. So now, 193 is not a perfect square, so I want to see if I can simplify this. When I'm simplifying, I'm looking for a number that can be factored out that is a perfect square. This doesn't have any perfect squares in it because it's a prime number. 193 is a prime number, so this can't be simplified at all. So I'm done. I could circle this, or I could write that x equals 7 plus square root of 193 over 18 and 7 minus square root of 193 over 18. I could write it separately or I could just keep it together. Okay, either way is fine. So that's one that doesn't work out quite as nice. All right, so you have 8 more problems to do tomorrow. This is your last week of online learning. So I hope you guys finish strong, and we will be talking to you later this week and sending out some things about grades and all that. So we hope you have a good summer, and we will talk to you later.